Alright, what is up? Okay,
man.
alright. Whoa, alright, everybody shut the fuck up. Y'all weren't even doing that shit like 3 seconds ago. Hold on. That's how we start the podcast. Alright. What is up, guys? It is your boy Denny, and that's with 2 Y's, and I'm here with the podcast. I've been trying to think of a name for it. I finally thought of one. I don't know if it's gonna be forever, permanent. I'm about to fucking kill you guys. Alright, I'm gonna quickly say that the title of this podcast is DennyyOnTheHennyy. So welcome to the DennyyOnTheHennyy Podcast. That kind of sounds not that bad, That's how we do a little better.
I thought it was Professor D.
We don't talk about this.
Call me the doctor, because I give her that Professor D.
You know, Professor D is also another name, because I got good extended research.
STP. I feel like if before you even get monetized, any joke that we make will just immediately remove that from you.
Yeah, oh yeah, this video is sponsored by Facebook. All the old niggas. Well, no, I'm joking. No, but I wish I had sponsors though. Hey, I'd be sponsored by Popeyes. I'd be sponsored
Mark
by...
is a lizard. Mark is a lizard. Mark is a lizard.
We're sponsored by Sony.
Yeah, we're sponsored by Sony.
2.
We're sponsored by Cyberpunk.
Bang.
We're sponsored by
We're sponsored by Bang Bros.
Don't forget about Fake Taxi.
That should be the
Fake
podcast
Taxi,
name,
yes.
Bang Bros.
Fake Taxi.
Fake Taxi.
Fucking driving school. Fake driving
We're
school.
sponsored by Vixen.
You got Hot Shot.
More like
by
Lonely
fucking-
Fans. No, I'm kidding.
Property sex.
Alright. Enough of the hub talk. Alright, guys. So for episode 1,
Hub talk.
these are the topics. I'm gonna put them on the screen. I hope I put them on the screen, but these are the topics in this order, with the timestamps on there too. I'm also gonna put the timestamps in the description, so you can click on them, and then you'll be in the specific part of the video. So hopefully I don't keep lagging. I don't know why the fuck I'm lagging, but yeah. Anybody got any dreams, stories about their dreams that you want to talk about?
I have 1,000,001 stories about dreams. I had a weird set of dreams today, actually, and like I don't remember all of them, but it was like I was going in and out of sleep for like 5 hours non-stop, like waking up like 5 or 6 times, and each time I went back to sleep, it was a different dream, and it would be weird because one dream would last like 5 to 10 minutes in real life, and then I wake up and I'm like, hold up, like, was I just in a dream or was this real? Like, I couldn't tell if it was real or if it's fake. It was crazy. Like, some of my dreams is realistic as hell, or super outrageous, or I just don't have dreams.
Yeah, I don't usually dream. It sucks.
I had to force myself to stop dreaming, but I've been having like dreams that been symbolizing shit more lately. Like,
Yeah, same.
I've been having weird dreams of shit that recently happened, a lot of deja vu shit involved. I've had a lot of dreams about my friends, dreams about people that I ended up removing out of my life like I did in the dream. It's just, it was wild. It's crazy. I don't know what's going on. But
Dude,
my
sometimes
dreams...
I don't know. I have a dream like you were just saying about cutting people out, and like I think it's just destiny at that point. I'm like,
Yeah,
my brain's telling me to do something.
exactly.
Yeah.
If my brain telling me that, then it might be true.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
How do you stop yourself from dreaming? Is that like detaching yourself from the force or some shit?
I can't even explain it. I was really young when I forced myself to do it. I basically try to go to sleep without thinking about anything, or I go to sleep listening to music or watch something so it blanks my mind before I fall asleep. Or usually now that I knew that I was having like reoccurring dreams and I knew that I was in dreams, I started to have lucid dreams where I was able to control them more. So basically I just make myself think black darkness inside my head, and that's what I see, and it lasts about 5 minutes, and then I'm awake again.
I mean, for me, most of my dreams are either past traumas, like really weird ones or really hypersexual ones, because
Yeah.
I'm not really much of a person who goes out of my way to hook up with people or anything like that. So, like, you're gonna make fun of me, or at least laugh at this, because it is kind of funny. Like, I was dreaming last night about, like, blowing... Hold on. The pause did not help. But I was in, like, my dream car in the back seat, and I was, like, blowing Satan's back out, like a female version of Satan.
Damn, I wish.
Nigga, what?
That actually sounds like a
It
nice
didn't make any
ass
sense.
dream.
Oh,
And like there
God.
was a priest outside pissed off because I was fucking Satan. Like, it was-
Yo,
I'm only gonna share one dream. The other one is a little bit too personal to share out. So I'm gonna do this one dream. As I was saying, me and my boy Nas or Chris, I don't remember who, some brown motherfucker. Anyways, we were in Nuketown, and it was the Black
See how
Ops
brown people
4.
look alike?
It was the Black Ops 4 Nuketown, so it was the one set in Russia. But the thing is, there were no fucking cars, no trucks, no buses. It was just the houses, right? The three houses on the map. And, well, actually, technically, there isn't a third house on the... Whatever. But there were three houses.
Technically.
But, and in the middle, there's like that launch pad that opens up and the fucking missile comes out and it nukes the entire place, right? So... the whole goal was to fucking go down there, disarm the missile so it doesn't blow up basically all of Nevada, or not Nevada, Russia, sorry. I'm thinking of the old Nuketowns, but yeah. So as it's opening, like there's like a spiral staircase that goes down it, so we go down it and like halfway through us going down it, there's like this keyboard that pops out, right? And so I'm like, okay, so this is the thing where we put in the code and we try and stop the fucking the missile. So sorry. So I'm the one like typing in the codes because I'm like, all right, I think I know the code. So as I'm typing it, there's like a timer right above the screen, and it's set for 30 seconds. Or no, it was 45 seconds. And I'm like typing, right? And I'm typing in the codes, and as the timer is going down, when it hits when it hits 30 seconds, I can feel myself kind of typing a little bit slower. And then when it hits 20 seconds, I can feel myself typing even slower. And then I remember when it hit like 8 seconds, and like the shuttle, or not the shuttle, but like the place that we were in, it was getting really red because the emergency lights were going up, basically signifying that the missile is going to launch soon. And it's getting red, and like I can feel myself sweating and all that shit. And I'm like typing. I'm trying to like fucking type faster, but I can feel my fingers like kind of slowing down and like curling up and shit. I don't know, that's just a weird detail. And in real life, as I'm sleeping, I can feel myself heating up, like because in the dream, the area around us is heating up because the fucking missile is about to go off, right? And in real life, I can feel myself heating up. And as soon as the timer hits 0, there's a big delay. Like the missile doesn't come up and it doesn't explode. And then in my head, I imagine in the dream, myself in the dream, I imagine myself exploding into a million fucking pieces, right? But it didn't happen. I was so confused. I was like, why aren't we dead? And then next thing you know, when I said that, I was like, why aren't we dead? Next thing you know, fucking explosion, bomb. And then that's when I wake up out of my dream, and then I'm literally like hot as fuck, and I throw the blankets off me. I'm like, damn, it's so fucking hot in my room. What the fuck? And I'm like sweating a little bit. I'm like, god damn, that dream was so intense. I'm like, what the fuck? I was like, what does this shit mean? But yeah, I don't know. That was some weird shit.
To wake up because you're gonna have a heart attack or something.
Right? Because my heart was beating so fast, bro. It was beating hella fast.
I had 2 dreams like that before. My first one, I was younger, and this is when I was living with my mom. And no offense to my mom, but my mom is like a bigger type of lady. But in my dream, she was like huge, like the size like MODOK's body, but bigger. It was like the fatso thing from the forest.
Mom Doc.
So yeah,
oh my
Mom
gosh.
So it was like it was me. We was in our old house, and I was in there alone, like by myself. So I'm walking up the steps, and I hear, at this time I was like very terrified of Michael Myers. So I hear like the Michael Myers music, and I see my mom, and she like just there. So it like jump cut to other part of like me and my brothers and sisters like eating dinner, and I was the last one to finish eating, and they all went upstairs. And as I'm going up, they disappear once they turn, and behind me gets super dark. And it's like my mom, even though it's not really my mom, it's like this creature version of my mom, and she grabs me and pulls me by my leg, and she like, I'm trying to kick and run away, and basically like me trying to get away, she fell on my leg and broke my leg. And when I woke up, I told my mom about it, and she was like, your brother was laying on your leg last night, so that's probably why you had a dream like that. And I was like, wow.
Here's the thing, like, with my dream, I think it had something to do because it was around the time where we just got our new furnace. We got our new furnace like a week ago, and this dream happened like a few days ago. So I think that's because the new furnace and that shit works like a motherfucker.
I thought about something that I had a dream, but at the same time it doesn't really make sense. Okay, so I'm just gonna tell my dream and then what happened to me in real life.
Yeah.
So
Right.
I had this dream that this girl I used to talk to like a while ago, like we hung out again, and when we hung out, she was like really upset. I don't know why, and like we just started fighting and arguing and shit. And I was just like, you know what? Fuck you. I'm leaving. So she takes my keys, and on my keys I have this wrench on my keychain because I don't know why. I think it's like cool. And if I ever need to like work on my car, I have a wrench. She takes a wrench and fucking like puts it in my engine so I can't like drive my car. It's like she sticks it through the hood of the car and it goes in the engine. I'm like, oh shit. And then she takes my fucking cat and then leaves. But I know, right? It's fucked up.
It's so fucked up.
I know.
my God.
I was like, what the fuck?
Fucking
My
up your
cat,
car.
my car. What
Like,
the fuck? Like,
She stole your fucking cat. She took your pussy away from you without you saying it was okay.
oh
The
my
pussy
God,
thief.
yeah. She was
Coochie
really
man.
upset or something. But we just hung out like not too long ago, and now I have a flat tire because of like a screw.
Maybe she did that.
Like I said, my dreams are normally pretty sexual or weird, so this one sounds far-fetched, but this happened the
Sounds
other day. So I was dreaming about like one of my exes that was really shitty, and her and I got in a big fight, and like we started throwing hands, but then it turned into like a Mortal Kombat stage, and like
fight.
I did all the environmental moves. I hit her with a fucking uppercut, knocked her into the abyss with like all the spikes at the bottom, and then
Oh my
like,
gosh.
and then I woke up. I was like super sweaty for no reason,
Sorry.
and then
you.
I got out of
Thank you.
bed, and then I did one of those 80s end of the movie jumps in the air, because why not?
This
You're
nigga.
fucking, yay!
And then you freeze mid-frame.
Yeah! I freeze mid-frame.
Marvel.
And
Some
then
bloody tighties
turns
on.
out I was dreaming that I did that. I was dreaming about that. I
So
woke up
sweet.
sweaty again in real life, and my mouth was super dry.
Wait, have
Just
y'all
take your demons
have y'all
and
peed
fuck
in y'all
them from
dream
behind.
and peed in real life at the same time? I mean, that's
Yeah.
considered a
Hell
wet.
yeah!
That's like a
Yeah.
wet
Yeah.
dream too.
That's
A
why
wet
I'm
dream is
more
like
territory.
a wet dream is like a double thing. Like you could piss and have a wet dream, or you can have a wet dream.
Yeah. I've had both of those.
I remember one time I was pissing in the shower in my dream, and I woke up and my bed was soaked, bro. I was like, what the fuck?
Oh my gosh.
I had to scrub the whole bed that day and flip it over.
The shit was
Flip it
real warm
over.
when you woke up too, I bet.
It was cold, probably.
man. I was like, am I in the pool? I thought I was getting free.
Oh
Shit
my
smells like a
God.
whole cat bed.
Oh my God.
Smells like my fucking school's
Dude out here
bathroom.
smells like mustard gas.
Mustard
Mustard
gas.
gas.
You ever eat asparagus then pee? You might as well just
Ew, bro.
wear a
Oh,
gas
that's
mask
the
and
worst smell.
run away.
Yes. Oh my
I
God.
mean,
Anyways.
I've had 2 wet dreams. 2 wet dreams. I'll call that.
Wop
You
I've
dreams.
never had one.
I've
You
had
ne- oh,
Personally,
boy.
Damn.
I've never
You
had a
better
fucking wet dream.
listen. You about to have one tonight. This what you gotta do.
Okay, fucking Cardi B. Alright, Cardi B. Fucking Bill
Oh my
Cosby.
God.
Hold on.
Think about Cardi.
Freddy Krueger had ass.
Listen, this is what you do. This
Oh
is
my
what you do.
God.
I've never tested this theory, but this is what you do, right?
I'm the fucking first one to test this shit. Alright, yeah.
You get tired, right? Get super duper tired, right? Like make sure you on the verge about to fall asleep, right? Then you go on the hub, but you don't beat the schmeat, right? You just watch. And then as you falling asleep, make sure you thinking about it as you falling asleep, and when you think about it, you'll have a dream that you fuck somebody.
Here's the
It might
thing.
not
Fucking
happen.
hilarious.
It might not happen in the beginning of the dream, but you gonna have a dream that you smashed somebody.
Here's the thing.
That's true.
I remember I've done some research on
It's
this.
85%
I like
positive.
the way
Wait,
you
hold
look.
on. Hold on.
Guaranteed.
Alright. So, I remember like a year or two ago I've done some research on this. So basically, us men, we have wet dreams because of one of 2 reasons. It could just be a coincidence. You could be, you know, fucking dreaming about fucking somebody and then, you know, yeah, come in your pants. But the main reason as to why we have wet dreams is because we have too much semen built up in our testes, so our body has to release that. So our brain sends, or the
Shit, education.
whatever the fuck, the testes sends the signal to the brain, and the brain's like, oh, I got you. And so that's why it
basically-
makes you think about something sexual, so you can release.
Oh.
So
Right.
basically, you have
That's
a
why
wet
I'm
dream.
horny all the time.
You have
I
a
got
wet
too
dream
much
where you don't
jizz.
eat the meat or get any cheats in a long
Yeah,
time.
and
Basically.
when I had my
So
2 wet
once
dreams,
once that thing build up,
yeah,
that thing going.
because when I had my
Hold on. Don't take it that day. Don't take
Wait.
it that day. You might have a wet neck.
He said a wet neck. Yeah, because when I had both of my
Cheese curls,
fucking wet
man.
dreams, it's because I legitimately did not beat my meat for a long time. So, yeah.
No nut.
I can't go
Weekend.
more than a week.
I
Bro,
went
it was
like
so
almost
hard. Oh
like
my
half a
God.
year without doing it
That's
at
how
one
you
point.
dreams.
So, that's why I
Last
had
time I did
to.
that was this before I even know what it was.
Plus,
I
there's
think
a lot
I
of.
beat off every
AKA
single
when I was
day
about
since I was
14.
10.
Shit, I
Holy
wish I learned that.
fuck.
I wish I learned that early.
Bro, I hit puberty at like 8 or 9 years old. I've sounded
Dude,
like
that's
this
how
since I
I
was 13.
Yeah, same.
Shoot.
My voice has not changed
My
at
voice
all.
just got like this, and it still ain't deep.
We're gonna be talking about Ghost of Tsushima Legends. So, alright. So with this topic, I want everybody to share, like what they like about it, and then also, you know, like what they don't like about it. Pretty much that. So, I'll start off. I'll say that I fucking love Ghost of Tsushima Legends. Right? It's one of the best things, if not the best new thing that has come out this year. It definitely secured its vote for
Game of the year.
Yeah, it definitely secured it. I mean, the single player of Ghost of Tsushima itself, I was like, yeah, this is definitely Game of the Year. But they gave us free DLC. They didn't have to. It's actually fun, and I'm like, hell
Can
yeah.
I just start by saying that even though everybody knew about the game, I'm the one that enforced everybody to get the game.
Well, I got it from fucking Sammy, so
Well, yeah, but because a lot of people forgot about Ghost, and that's why I was like so slept on. But it still had over 2 million people play Legends in the first weekend.
yeah, which is crazy fucking
Didn't
numbers.
Ghost of Tsushima have its own, it broke a record
I believe so. Yeah, it did break a
Most
record for the
buys in
fastest.
like the first
Yeah, the fastest
2 days.
one of the fastest selling games like ever.
Because I got it maybe the day it came out, or like the day after.
Yeah.
Because I didn't pre-order it. So when I started playing it, I was probably right behind Nas and Denny, and then everyone else kind of started playing it, or at least they had the game, but they didn't start playing it yet. And we were all falling in love with it. We all heard about like the multiplayer. We got super hyped about playing it all together. We waited and waited and waited.
And waited. It was
waited.
crazy because when I remember Denny talked about it that morning, he was like, "Yo, Ghost of Tsushima having an update," and I'm like, "All right, cool. They probably gonna add little stuff here and there." I see the trailer. I'm like, what? I showed my brother. He got super hyped. We had to slow the video down in slow mo and watch everything. We like, bro, this is most definitely getting Game of the Year. There is no way anything that comes out after this multiplayer is beating Ghost of Tsushima for Game of the Year. And if it does, it's rigged.
One bad thing I got about Ghost of Tsushima or Tsushima, I don't
Tsushima.
Tsushima is the camera. Yeah, the camera, and I'm trying to see if there's...
My biggest complaint about the Legends is that I feel like it should be more. I feel like they're going to do it over time, but I feel like it should be more outfits and masks and different weapon kits and shit like that. Because mostly everything is rather from the story, and it's just recolored versions of shit. But the masks that you get from doing the nightmare mode and the fits are cool, but they're also just reskins with extra effects on there, other than the assassin who gets a completely different mask than every other one, which is dope. But it's still like we need a little bit more than that.
Yeah.
But I can't wait till next Friday for the raid to begin. And I don't know if y'all know or not, but you can't matchmake in that. You need a full squad to do it.
Yeah. Full squad.
So this week is grind week, boys. At least for y'all.
My main thing is, like, in the story mode, you could auto-lock to an enemy that you wanted to fight. You can't do that in this. So you're basically just aimlessly wandering around trying to take off the next demon Mongol's head off.
I don't think so. No, in the story mode, you can lock on in a sense. I feel like you could. It was some kind of way.
I did it somehow. It was in the tutorial.
In the story mode, you were never able to. When the game came out, you were never able to lock on. Because that was
Maybe
everyone.
I'm just imagining things.
Yeah, because that was everyone's complaints about the game, about how you couldn't lock on to enemies. It's still not a thing.
I mean, in a sense, I'm okay with it too, because if you get attacked by multiple enemies and you block at the right time, even if the enemy not facing you, unless it's like a red attack, you can still perfect parry it or perfect dodge it.
Yeah, but at the same time, though, when I say the camera is an issue, I'm meaning like when you're backed up against a wall, like the camera is so far out that it's not even focused on your character. It doesn't like automatically zoom in a little bit, so it won't be clipping the walls or an object. That's what I mean by like the camera is kind of bad in that game. I don't like the whole lock-on thing. Like it is what it is. Like I'm used to it, but I'm saying that camera when it's panned out and you're backed up against a wall, like you can't see shit. So you're kind of forced to just like roll out of the situation even if you can. But yeah, no. That was really my only problem with the game. I mean, I hope that they can fix that with the camera. But I mean, if not, it is what it is. It's whatever. I mean, not every game is gonna be perfect. You know, there's gonna be some flaws. There's gonna be some things that they can't fix. But yeah, I'm excited to play some more, honestly, after this fucking podcast and I upload it.
But one more thing, I feel like it's missing another type of game mode. It's like it might be the PvP type of thing, but I just feel like it's missing a game mode that would just bring something else. Because it's like we only got survival and the story missions, and then we gonna have the raids. But when you think about it, the raids is the only thing different because the survival or the nightmare missions are literally the regular story missions, but just a harder difficulty. Like I feel like it should be more diverse stories or something at least, like to make it different.
Yeah, I'm glad it's not PvP because I feel like this game is just with the gameplay and how it is. I feel like it's not meant for PvP.
It's not.
Yeah.
It would make the game way too fucking toxic anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably true. If I was thinking about it from like the for a better For Honor standpoint, but it would be hard to do that because it would basically be like every class would have to, unless they did like 4v4 like capture the flag type of thing with its survival, but it's you versus another team and you gotta have whoever has the flag the longest type thing. Maybe I'm not sure, something like that. I feel like it would be dope if they did like a 4 versus 4 team type of thing.
Yeah. Because honestly, I don't know what else they
Or
could
like 4v4. They could just do like a 4v4.
Yeah. And I don't
That
know.
way you have to be one from each class. Sorry to interrupt, but yeah.
No, you're good. I don't know what else they could possibly do with Legends. I mean, it'd be cool if they did something else, but I mean, even
I know they're
if
gonna do
not,
something for
then
PS5. They going to do another like not crazy super update like this, but they gonna add something when the PS5 comes out. I
yeah,
just got a gut feeling that they will. It would make sense. It would make sense. Like
for
it's
sure.
probably gonna be some more story shit, like some DLC story shit maybe, or it's gonna be some more legend shit where it's like a little bit more content. I feel like they going have another update before the PS5 where they maybe add more cosmetics and more gear type of shit, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure. It's very simple, but it's still fun. That's the thing. It's like I didn't think I thought I would get bored of it easy because it's like the same type of things.
Mhm.
I mean, the only time it gets boring is when I'm super above level and I gotta do stuff lower level, which I don't mind because I like playing with y'all. But it's like I'm not getting shit from it. So
Right.
it's literally like I'm kind of playing for no reason in a sense of me. Wish for this is what I wish basically for the higher difficulties. Don't just make you do less damage and give the enemies more health and make it more enemies. Change up the mission a little bit. Like I would have felt it would have been better if they every level that increase is like more into the demon realm of it. Like it was like it would be crazier and you fight enemies from that. I know they saving that for the raids because they already said that, but I would have liked that. I would have liked a slight difference in story or something from the difficulties or something like that, or at least have all the like the way they made it seem is all the stories tied in, and at the end you was going to fight somebody, but you never fought anybody at the end. It would have been so much better if they made at the end of the story missions, no matter which difficulty you fight the boss that you've been talking about throughout the whole mission. It was like pointless to me in that sense.
Yeah. The next topic is album music of the year. So I want everybody to think about what was like, your song of the year or your album of the year for you.
Okay,
If you don't
so
if you don't have an album, if there's not a new album that came out this year that you didn't really fuck with, maybe just think of an album that you listened
most
to and
inspiration.
that
Yeah.
yeah. So I already got
All
mine.
right. I think I have about three, but it's hard for me to choose between three. But I think I might have the answer. So I listened to a couple like full albums this year. One of them being "Fuck Love" by the Kid Laroi.
Mhm.
Juice World's album after he passed. Pop Smoke's album. Um, and Polo G's album. Uh, Pop Smoke in the Kid Laroi. No, I'm gonna say yeah. Pop Smoke and the Kid Laroi's albums hit more different. Like I enjoyed Pop Smoke. It was all bangers. It was like 2 or 3 songs on there that I didn't like, but most of the songs was lit. It got me lit. It got me hyped. It was some sad songs which were surprising, And a lot of my favorite songs from this year is on that album.
Mhm.
But the Kid Laroi's album, it just hit different for me because he's young. He just turned 17, and this whole album is about his experiences with love and being in a relationship with girls at the time. And the first skit that's on the album is actually a real skit that he had with a girl he was in a relationship with at this time.
Mhm.
And he even, like, after they broke up and everything, later down the line when he was about to release the album, he was like, listen, you might be mad, but that night when we had our disagreement or whatever, my friend came in and recorded it, and we just listened back to it, and I want to put it on my album. Would it be okay for me to put it on my album and you record other skits for me for the album? And she would say yeah. So I thought it was pretty dope. So I feel like Fuck Love might be my favorite album so far this year, definitely.
But the two that I can remember are Logic's latest album and apparently
I
last,
still haven't
which
listened to that.
is No Pressure, and then also the APC or A Perfect Circle album. Actually, let me get the name. Yeah, the 13th Step. I listened to those two albums, and let me tell you that was a fucking trip for both of them. They're very great, and I recommend. I'll probably put them. I'll put them in the description below. But I do want to talk about a little bit of Logic's album. Now, if y'all don't know, I've been a big Logic fan for like about 6 years. I know a lot of people who don't like him. They call him corny and all that stuff, and that's what I liked about him. Um, like, yeah, he was corny, but like, I don't know, it was just something about like the way he rapped and like the way he had with his words. Like he was just a lyricist. He was different. He was a
Mm-hmm.
different type of lyricist, and like his beats were so fucking fire. Like especially
Facts.
when he would
Older
collab.
Logic, I fucking love Older Logic.
Yeah, older Logic was untouchable. But when he would work with No ID and all of them, bruh,
Hmm.
every time Talia would come on the mic and be like, "This production was made by No ID," bruh, you
Mm-hmm.
know the fucking album was gonna be good, right? And when I heard that No ID was working or worked on No Pressure, I was like, this is already a good album already. I can already tell like this is gonna be a good fucking album. Man, I remember the night it came out, I fucking I muted my mic because I was in the party with y'all. Muted my mic, took off my
Mm-hmm.
headphones, and I was like, all right, I gotta listen to this. I bumped that shit on my speaker, and I had a blast. And it was really nostalgic. Like I felt like listening to Logic for the first time back in 2014. I felt like going through all his other albums and listening to them for the first time. I felt like a kid, right? It just the feeling was just so good, and I was just like, this is the shit that I like. Like I respect him for trying new things with Supermarket and then
Mm-hmm.
Kodum or Confessions of a Dangerous Mind. Like I respect him for that because even on No Pressure, he was talking about his struggles being like with the rap game and how toxic it is and how
Mm-hmm.
like he just felt hopeless because he didn't like you had one half of the fans, one part of the like one side of the fans saying like, oh, like we want old Logic, and then you have the other side of the fans that are like fucking like saying that he should be doing other like different shit, and it's just like this
Mm-hmm.
tug of war of like oh which one should I do, and like that's why one of his songs, and in my honest opinion, his best song on that album is Dark Place. Without a doubt, that is his best song because it's something that I not only I can relate to, but like I feel for what he is saying. Because I remember in one of the lines, he said they want the old Logic. He's like, wait, what is it? They want the old Logic, but but this is the oldest me. Or oh, I gotta look it up because the lyric is so fucking clean, so fire, and I hope this doesn't make me lag. I'm gonna fucking kill myself. If this makes me lag. Um, my Okay, you know what? I'm gonna look it up on my computer. Where the fuck's my computer? Since I'm not on my shitty router and I'm using my hotspot, I can look this up on my computer. So, I'm gonna try and hurry and look this up. But just the beat, it was fucking crazy, man. And honestly, like I really fuck with with this album. And I've
Mm.
I've ran into a lot of people who said like, "Oh, Logic's ass," or "Logic corny." I'm just like, that's just what I like about him. He's just real. This is how he is, you know? All right, so here are the lyrics. Here's the part that I was talking about. He says, "Cause people say they want the older me, while I'm 30, this the oldest me. Behold, it's me, the piece of shit that's not good enough, not good enough, not black enough, not hood enough, not rich enough, not poor enough. My heart has poured enough, and yeah, I've been beaten and battered, my confidence shattered. I've been broken and tattered." But basically, like when I heard that shit, bro, I was like, damn, like it hit home because like I've heard a lot of people say like, oh, we want the old Logic, or oh, like we want this type of Logic, we want that, and even I'm guilty of saying some dumb shit like that. And then looking back, I'm just like, why would I even say some dumb shit like that? Like obviously he's an artist, he's a musician, he's gonna be trying out new things because that's what you do. I mean, some people just do that. You got others that only stick to one sound, to one voice, to one type of style. While he's trying to try out
Mm.
different things, obviously with Supermarket being the soundtrack of his book, of his first ever book that he wrote. And I'm gonna be real with you, I didn't really like it all that much. I only liked like two, maybe three songs on there, and then the rest were just meh.
Mm.
But I still respected him, and I was like, at least he tried something different. And with Kodum,
Right.
like I was like, okay, I see what he's trying to do. He's trying to kind of, with my interpretation, I was like maybe trying to get with more of the trap beats a little bit more, and also like
Mm.
at the same time, I felt like he was mocking the mumble rap industry, and I don't know. It just the album was I don't really know the full meaning and the full message, or like the theme at least of the album, but I don't know. That's what I
Mm.
interpreted. Um, but I don't know. I think people need to give him his props. See this, and I watched the video. Anthony Fantano. He was talking about this, and I really think that this is like the greatest comeback when it comes to like rap. Like someone who started off, they're being respected, and then they kind of had a falling off, and then they came back with a hard hitting ass album that kind of hits home with everybody that listened to it, and it's like nostalgia, and it's like their old shit mixed with their newer
Mm.
shit, kind of, yeah. But yeah, I'm gonna stop rambling because that was a long ass little thing. But anybody? Oh yeah, and then I want to quickly say that
I
album of the year, definitely no pressure, but you can go.
For me, the album of the year was for me personally because I don't like listening to too much music that makes me think too much. I just like to enjoy it and
Mm.
be in the moment. So with Thundercats, It Is What It Is album was fucking fire.
Mhm.
Uh, like Funny Thing was a great song. Um, Black Qualls was great. Um, Dragon Ball Durag is funny as shit, and I love it.
Mhm.
So right off the bat, like they were great as singles, but like Dragon Ball Durag was really funny, and I really enjoy it when Thundercat acts like a goofball, because then that just
Mm.
makes you like him more as a person, not just as an artist.
Mhm.
And every other song was just something that you could listen to, do a two-step to, even if you don't have the best rhythm on the planet, you can follow along and kind of just enjoy yourself.
Mm.
So
So, is all of that like what genre is it? I don't know if you said that already, but what genre is it?
that's like it's like R&B pop kind of stuff. Like I mean, I would say it's more like R&B
Mhm.
than pop because it's not really pop to me. because of how much elements he puts into it. Because pop is just like the same couple of chords, a corny chorus, and all this other shit. So
Well, since these tie in together, Denny, you want to go right to like your favorite song
Uh,
of the year?
well, all right. So my favorite song of the year, I don't think I could really pick what my favorite song
I already know
for
mine
this
right off the
year.
top of my head.
What is it?
It is this year. It is "Selfish" by the Kid Laroi. Also, for me, I go through phases of where even older songs from before I was born will be my favorite song for a little while. Like it always switches up, but for the solid like for a solid like month and a half, 2 months, this whole album and him as an artist in a whole has been my favorite musical aspect of this year. Like it just
Yeah.
hit so impactful, and I'm gonna send it to Denny to put in a link because anybody who hasn't sat down and heard this album really needs to listen to it. It might bring up like some feels in a little bit, but it's so relatable and so true, and that's why it hit so hard because it's so relatable, especially for him being so young.
Yeah. And even with I'm gonna with all the songs that I mentioned, like Logic's album, I'll definitely put that in the description if anyone wants to listen to it if they haven't already or if they're curious. And with the Perfect Circle albums and songs that I was talking about, I'll do the same thing. And forgot to mention that A Perfect Circle is what like metal, pretty much metal band or
Oh yeah,
rock
the
Perfect
Kid
rock.
Circle
Laroi
is
is
a
like
great band.
hip.
Yeah.
The Kid Laroi is like pop, hip hop type of thing.
Alright, so on to the next topic. We're gonna be talking about movie or TV show of the year. Um,
Ooh, ooh. Let's start with movie.
alright.
This I already have mine. I've almost forgot about it, but I just reminded myself.
Trying
It
to,
is called. It is
everybody
called
else can go.
Uncut. It is called Uncut Gems with Adam Sandler and Kevin Garnett, and it is the when it comes to not comedy, even when you include the comedy, it is Adam Sandler's best performed movie. A lot of his movies are made for the comedic aspect. I mean, like as a whole, like yeah,
His best
comedy
movies are
movies
when he's
can,
not being funny.
Yeah.
yeah, like he's.
His best
Don't get me
movies are when
wrong,
he's serious.
Adam Sandler is hilarious. He is
Mhm.
hilarious. A lot of people don't like Adam Sandler. A lot of people don't think he's funny. But I grew up watching Adam Sandler. I always thought he had something funny. Like his characters were always fun and dumb. But
Mhm.
this movie, I would say, if you never, no, that would be hard. It would be like if Adam Sandler never made a comedy movie, and this was like his. If this was Adam Sandler's last movie ever, I wouldn't be upset. Is what I
Mhm.
mean. This movie was so good down to the story, the unexpected shit that happened in the end, and how he was treated. It's literally the life of how I don't know how this would be interpreted, but it would literally be the life of how a Jewish person living in the city or whatever would be treated by everybody else.
I can't really decide on what my movie of the year was because I've seen a lot of movies this year. Not a lot, but I've seen quite a bit. I've seen Bloodshot with Vin Diesel. I thought the movie was not really that bad. I mean,
It
the
wasn't that bad.
action scenes were pretty good. Vin Diesel, him
Yeah.
acting, I mean, he's not the greatest actor, but it's a pretty
Not gonna lie, I
decently
didn't
good film.
expect it the way it was presented.
Yeah.
I didn't expect it like that, but
Hmm.
I really liked it. So,
Yeah,
I
and
still
plus
gotta
and
watch
Bloodshot
that.
is a
the
comic book movie too, and I don't know anything
and
about
like the story
Bloodshot.
is deeper than what people think. I think
Hmm.
like at the end when they like really tell you about everything that like they do in every movie, it's really deep. It really is.
Yeah.
So, and it's really
Oh,
messed up too.
yeah, it is. And it gives me like Advanced Warfare vibes, like how in that campaign you were working with a different like military corps, and then your arm gets sliced off by a propeller, and then you get introduced to this newer like military uh like agency, I guess, and they give you a brand new arm, and then that person who helped you, like all throughout the game, you kind of see more and more how they're like how they are like actually like a bad person. So at, at the end of the game, you
Yeah,
take them down. So it's kind of like that in Bloodshot.
yeah.
But I've also seen Extraction with what's his face?
I haven't seen that
Chris
movie.
Hemsworth. I'm pretty sure. Is that?
I wanted to see that. I know exactly what you're talking about. I believe that is on Netflix.
It is. It's a Netflix
I
original.
wanted to see that. There's also a Tom Holland movie on Netflix that I haven't gotten a
The
chance
Devil
to
Within
There's
or
a
watch.
some
couple
shit
movies
like
that came out
that.
on Netflix this year.
Yeah,
Did the Babysitter 2 come out this year?
yeah, I
Yeah.
believe so.
That is a fucking great movie also.
That was a good
Both
movie. Yeah.
movies. I suggest both of them. Recommend both of them.
I haven't watched
If
this
we
I
yet.
didn't
talking
see
about
any good movies this year
yeah,
because
now
all the ones that I watched were old movies from years
Yeah.
ago or like last year or something, or
I
just
haven't
shitty
watched
movies
any
that
good
came
movies
out
year,
this
except for, I think,
year.
Bloodshot.
Like
I think Bloodshot
I
came
saw
out
this
this year.
one movie about knights fighting zombies,
Mhm.
which if you think about it sounds cool on paper, but when the movie is poor quality technically and just overall aesthetic wise, the CGI is terrible, the writing's terrible, the acting's terrible, the zombie, the practical effects are bad. Like everything's just bad about the movie, and it's one of my most hated movies of all time just because of how bad it was.
Yeah.
now if we want to talk about a show that really hit me this year, it's been recently. I started watching it months and months ago, but I recently just finished it, and I've been reading the manga. Is The Promised Neverland, and it's fucking amazing.
11 out of 10 show.
Out of
First season on
10
Netflix. I
12
remember
out of
watching
10
it.
TV show, and it's only the first season. The new season comes in January, and the manga just finished. I could not wait. I'm so addicted to everything that's going to happen
Yeah.
that I can't even wait for the show. It is
10 out of
so,
10, bro. 10
bro,
out of
fuck
10.
10 out of 10. It is a 12 out of 10. It is an amazing show. And the crazy thing about it is that all the characters are younger than everybody in this party, and they make us all seem like we
Retarded.
never had a school education.
Mm.
Literally.
Like,
They
I
are very
highly,
Like,
highly
as I
educated,
recommend.
watched that show, I started to overthink a lot. Like, bro, why don't I think like this? Like, that's what I started to think as I watched that show. Like, Norman in that show, he is so smart. And I'm just like, wow. Like, they've really, like, presented a little boy this smart. Show that, I watched this year, but, the show's been out for a minute. The two shows, like, they link with each other. But I just recently rewatched them because I was younger when I first watched them, and I didn't really understand it like that.
I
And
know
they
what you're
always
gonna
been
say.
good shows. Avatar and Korra, The Last
Yep.
Airbender and Korra,
Amazing, amazing. I
amazing
started
shows.
rewatching Korra.
I haven't finished Korra all the way. I'm on the last season. It's getting crazy, but um, Korra has a lot of different story with it. It's like each season is like dramatically different, kind of.
Mhm.
Especially the fourth season from the rest of the show. And Avatar, I feel like all went along with at the end. Of course, if everyone watches, has everyone watched Avatar before I spoil the ending?
Yeah, I watched Last Airbender.
Where he fights, of course, Fire Ozai. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
like the whole show, it build up to that scene, and then the show ends there. But Korra, it's just like she fights one boss, and that's over. And then she has to fight another person.
For me, all right. So near the beginning of this year, so when this quarantine shit started happening, so back in March,
Mhm.
I was like, okay, well, this is the perfect time for me to watch the CW verse or the Arrowverse, whatever.
Oh yeah, I
So
remember you were watching it.
so I started because I looked it up. I was like, so what order do I have to go in? They were like, you gotta watch Arrow, then you gotta watch
Flash.
Flash, and then I think Supergirl, and then
No, then Legends of Tomorrow, then Supergirl, I believe.
yeah, technically.
Yeah.
But I started with Arrow, and I was like, all right, well, I've heard some good things about this show. I don't really know much about it.
Mm-hmm.
It's a classic. So I went through all 8 seasons in a matter of like not even a month. It didn't even take me a month. It took me less than a month to go through 8 seasons, and each
Mm-hmm.
season ranging from like about 20 to 24 episodes or whatever, 23 or 20 some
Yeah, it was a couple that
episodes.
was like a little less, yeah.
Yeah, a little less. And then season 8 was like only 10 episodes, but bruh,
Yeah.
that show, I was like, bruh, this show's crazy. Like,
Alright, don't get me wrong. I fucking love Arrow, and I love the CW verse as a whole. But after the first, like, 2 to 3 seasons of Arrow, it started to fall down a little bit. It
well,
was still
yeah,
good. It just wasn't as amazing as the first 2 seasons were.
yeah,
Don't get me wrong. I
there's,
still love the show. I just love Stephen Amell and all the actors as a whole.
yeah, and there were some things about the show where I was just like, why would you do that? I'm not gonna spoil
Yeah,
anything because, even the viewers, I don't know if y'all have seen the Arrow, so I'm not gonna say anything. But there are some things that they've done with characters that I did not agree with. There are some they brought characters back or they, casted off characters, and I
you should have brought
really,
one specific character back that everybody
right.
wanted, but they didn't.
Right, and I was just like, bro, what the fuck is this shit? Yeah, and then I watched The Flash, and I was like, okay, I fucks with it, I really wish they would have did more with Godspeed. Um, they didn't really
Don't
do much
spoil
with him.
anything about The Flash, because yes, I did watch. I think maybe the first 3 seasons. I want to say 3,
Yeah,
but I haven't finished watching it. So
there you go. I won't spoil anything. I just wish they did more with him, though.
Yeah, I definitely wish they should have did more
what
with that.
season was
Zoom
yeah, Zoom.
That
2,
was,
season 2, which was also one of the best seasons.
yep,
Yeah, Zoom. Yeah, I like that season a lot.
That season kind of freaked me out a little bit.
it did.
Kinda, yeah.
It was trippy. All right, so the big topic, game of the year. So this is the topic where we basically say what we think game of the year is, what we personally would vote for when the voting comes out, pretty much, which probably come out in like 2 weeks. But all right, so I guess I'll start. Game of the year for me, like I said earlier, definitely Ghost of Tsushima. That's
Hmm.
that. I mean, even without Legends in the picture, that was it already secured the vote, right? For me.
Yes,
Uh,
same for me.
I know Cyberpunk didn't come out yet, and I know everyone's like, "Oh, wait until Cyberpunk comes up." But that's the thing, Cyberpunk
I'm
doesn't come
trying
out.
to I'm trying to remember what else came out this year that could have like gave it a run for its money that made me think like, oh, this is a game I enjoyed this year.
You
Oh,
had,
Persona 5 Royal. Even though I have not finished it, I played the original. I fucking love that game. It is a very, very close second for me
mm-hmm,
in being game of the year. Just on how impactful it was for me being that I love anime, I love video games. It's the first real like JRPG game that I really like got into, and I binge played it for a long ass time. Is dope. But if I'm gonna be honest, I really feel like Ghost of Tsushima has it down pat. I don't feel like anything that comes out with the rest of this year will beat it.
yeah.
That's why.
Last of Us 2, yeah, as shit as it was, I mean, it can still compete because there's a lot of people that really like it, and then there's a lot of people that it's the most
And
controversial
they
game.
will base it solely on purchases and shit like that, like how many copies it sold and shit like that.
Yeah, they're
So
that's how they're gonna do it. The only horror game that came out that was kind of like mainstream was Blair Witch, and
yeah, I didn't know that came out this year.
yeah, that came out this year.
I definitely gotta watch videos on it now because I really was intrigued by it, but I just was too scared to watch gameplay because I wanted to play it myself. But I think I'm gonna watch the Brad play it now.
Is that the
Damn, I
Rad
haven't
Brad?
watched in years.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't watched them in years either. I will be voting for Ghost. I'm hoping that Last of Us doesn't take the Game of the Year because, my honest opinion, that game was a piece of shit. And speaking of voting, make sure you guys vote for your favorite game of the year, like your favorite game. No, 'cause we're not talking about politics here. Like, look, come on, we're not doing that. No, but make sure you guys vote when the Game Award thing comes about. I mean, I'll let y'all know, but you know. But in reality, just make sure you vote. Anyways, thank you guys for tuning in to the first episode of the podcast. This is pretty much different from all my other content, so yeah. I hope y'all enjoy it. Okay, so for the second episode, I think I want to try and live stream it to see how that would work. But if it doesn't really go well, I will just,
I have an idea for how we can
video
do
it.
it, but we can talk about it after the podcast.
For sure, for sure. I want to thank y'all for also being a part of this too, because I don't want this just to be me, right? That'd be pretty boring. But I'm glad that I got y'all here to, I guess, like,
Appreciate you, brother.
to
Or
be your,
we appreciate, you know what I mean. We appreciate you. You
yeah,
appreciate us. It's all love.
yes, sir. It's all live. But
I will
yeah,
definitely try to make it to the next one.
All
yeah.
right. We hope y'all enjoyed the podcast. We probably gonna go beat each other meat. Yeah.
Um,
Goodbye.
Edit that out,
you
man.
have to tell them I don't know about that one, buddy. Uh, but shout out to my boy Derb. He couldn't be here today, so
Yeah.
shout out to
Sir,
him.
Derb.
He's working some things out with a friend, so yeah. Uh, hopefully he'll be here for next week, the second episode. So yeah, and I'm trying
If you
to
wanna,
encourage these Nicknogs to make a channel and make videos with me, bruh. Because with the whole recording thing is really simple, right? I can walk them through it, or they can just look up videos. And
I've done
yeah,
it before.
yeah,
It's just weird. I'm trying to get back into it. I'm hoping that this might give me the little motivation that I need to get back into it and do some gaming shit. But
Remember you
yeah, we
slash
definitely gonna do some gaming shit down the line,
we got to.
Black Ops 3 Zombies, bro.
and hopefully make this shit something huge.
Yeah, I really do hope this.
For sure, for sure. Well, hopefully, fucking this is enough to go into the Sheriff Factory. But anyways, I love you guys. Thank you guys for tuning in, and I will see you guys next week on the second episode of the podcast. Later.
GG.
Yes, what he
You the
said.
imposter if you're watching this.
Alright, see you guys.